having said that, wacha tusome. Yeah, hiyo imesemwa. This is what we, at the end of the day, that's what we'll be able to cover. Now, this subject, maybe ni vile hujaisoma mahali imeandikwa, but these things are there in the houses, in your church, in the home, all over. Hata kwa hii shule, hata kwa insurance company in take risk, they also have to manage risk. So risk is all over. As long as you are living, anything can happen. So to begin with, because we said we are Christians, and generally when we have every morning the 3 days or 2 days per week, they do a devotion, which is very good. So Philippians 4:2, NIV says, now it is required that those who have been given a trust must provide proof faith. That's where we are here. So that I think that you are pastors, you are elders, you are across. So you are leaders in your own right. So since you are leaders, you have trust. So you must be faithful. If you are faithful, you are a good steward. This is my personal. This is a poor man, young, what I believe. My personal comment, as much as possible, manage your church and like a business. Not your businessman, naangalia what is coming in, what is going out. Hizo stories zingine, by the way. So as a church, run it like a business. Secondly, be guided by the Holy Spirit. Thirdly, have a beautiful values, integrity, godliness. Unajua sasa mwanabiashara naye akipatiwa kitu ya chini hawezi kuuliza kwa sababu yana spiritual or by biblical. But you as a person who is running a church, as much as you're doing it as a business, unatuzimira kwa hautokubali. Then be aware of the real world and its risks. So church iwezi jifunika mahali sasa Gen Z kumalizana na the other side hawatakuja. Let's try to model them, let's try to talk to them so that even if they come, watakuja in peace, so that we live together. So beware of the world, and that's why we always come to church to say, last night, how many heard about the earthquake? Okay, and the several people. So I kalikuwa kadogo tu 4.2, but you know, imagine Japan went is 7, 8. Ako kadogo, I was seated in my work and then the nyumba ina move. So the risks are always there. So that's why the reality of the world we must always be aware. For 1 minute, katika mwangalie hiyo picha, then maybe 2 or 3 people can tell me what they can think about it. Okay, one, kama macho inaona vizuri, that is an antelope, or a gazelle, or a similar thing, or a goat. Then hapo tunaona mlima, tunaona some grass, some things. It is not very clear, but that is what it is. Then hapa kumeandikwa risk management. So mtu mmoja niambie what are the options for that antelope, for that animal. What options are there? Madam? Sorry, I took introduction to your majina, but ikikuja madam is okay. What options are here to do gani?
Aruke tu.
Yes?
Ajaribu kupituka arudi.
Okay. Mwingine? Abaki hapo. Those are the 3 options. Akiruka, hatujui nini iko huku. Maybe kuna lion, kuna something. Akirudi, labda kuna, unajua they are big eagles. Chukua hizo wanyama. If she remains there, hii nyasi itaisha. Hakutakuwa usiku na atahitaji kunywa maji. So unaona the options zile ako nazo ni ngumu. Between rock and hard place. So this one, that is how there is, that is risks. Now, ichukua that is risk. Hata kutoka hapa na usitoke na kitu kingine, toka na hiyo. That is now the options that you have. Anytime you have options. To remain where you are, take action, and go back. So that is now what is a risk. That is a risk that you have to take. If you take an action, it entails uncertainty and deviation from expected outcome. This animal came out knowing intended, couldn't do it. Any advance outside any adverse outcome resulting from certain actions. Tumesema inaweza ruka, inaweza rudi. The actions, kuna consequences. Then the risks cuts across all of us. Nobody is exempt, even the church. Then now we look at the aspects of risk, probability. That animal, whatever action it takes, something can happen. Impact, the severity can happen. Inaweza kuwa na njaa, eagle ama lion. Then there's an uncertainty, a sense of the unknown. It doesn't know what to do. Even the church sometimes may not know. As a leader, you may not know what to do, but you have to take action. That's why you are a leader. Now, I think it's the first presenter aliongea mambo ya if you are a father, yenzi wanapiga simu lipa upa. Hataki kujua your situation. They want there and there. So once you are a leader, you have to take action. It's you action. Otherwise, if you don't take risk, you remain as a congregant. And when you are elevated, you have to take responsibility and also the risks. Then the vulnerability, there could be harm or loss or something. Then financial, and mainly that's what we are looking at. Because I think that has the spiritual aspect and the other things have been said, and now we are looking at mostly the potential economic loss. Then there are types of risks. There is operational, arising from the internal operations or otherwise. Then also there is strategic, things that happen from outside. If your church is here, mtu akuja yake kanisa hapo next. Lazima you up your game. Otherwise, members might move. Because members are following where they feel they have interest. So that is strategic. So you have to make sure that you always walk around and see, what is that? Kama ni kanisa, you have to think. That is the reality. I talk about the reality in the real world. Then compliance. The government, they have lesser rules for churches and all that. You don't have to pay taxes and all that. But the other laws, taxation, you have to file your returns, you have to do many things. So you have to comply. Otherwise, non-compliance might mean that you will close. Then there are also reputation. Arising from bad reputation, that can affect the church, support, and operations. Umeona mkitembea sana politicians. Are you the same? So if they work together, they speak, wanasemaje? If they work together, yeah, but there's another one. If it barks like a dog, walks like a dog, it must be. So if you are working with a politician, you are a church leader, we need to see the program. So that's what they ask. Politicians are doing this, and when you see you together, what's the difference? Are you the same? So those are the things that the risks that we could be facing. Then there are those initial steps that you need to do so that you can identify your risks. You need to form a team that will steer the process. Because as a pastor or as a leader, you may not be able to do it alone. So you need a team that will help. Then they will also develop some questionnaires, surveys, to see what is the potential risk. In your churches, you may be at different levels. Maybe you may sure some of these risks, maybe you shall move. You have policies, you have other things, but there would be others who are just starting. So they need to know what to do as a beginning. Then you need to review the past, because the past can inform about the future. Policies, procedures, all those things that may have happened in the past. They will inform you about the next course of action. Then also you need to involve experts. And sometimes church inaongea mambo hatuna pesa. So we do not engage an insurance person, an accountant, or something. Kila kitu sio spiritual by the way. Na mahali inafika where you need to behave like mtu wako. Because moto haijui hii ni church ama si church. Utachoma tu. Ama kwa barabara gari ikipata accident. Kama ni ya church. Imeandikwa tu church van. But utapata accident. So we need to be aware that there are things that we need to do well. So that's why you need to involve experts. Then also physical inspection. There are things that we can see and probably make adjustments. Our premises, our inside the church, and all that. Then there are also financial risks, budgets. I don't know how many. Now, how many? Do you do a budget in the church? You do, all of you. So that's commendable. But there are churches who don't do budget. But once you do the budget, there's one thing, you follow it. Because unaweza fanya na meeting na all that, but budget itaangaliwa tena tukifanya the next one, which again negates the purpose. So a budget should be something, a tool that will help you manage the church affairs throughout. Then also, there should be deliberate efforts to adhere and stick to the budget. Flexible but strict. So that, this year we want to buy a car, then next, a few months down the line, say we want to buy, instead of a car, what is a matatu. You need division, kubwa. You want to buy a van, a church, that is how someone will matatu. But it may not go well, because when you are planning about the van, a thought was put in place. So what has changed? Then, financial risk, there could be fraud and investment. The people involved in running the affairs of the church are tempted to misappropriate. Maybe not the pastor, but others who help you. So all expenses should be authorized and approved by a senior pastor. So there are some places, kama kiosk, if you're running a kiosk, mtu wa maziwa akikuletea unatoa pesa ya sales unapatia. Naenda. Ukitaka kulipa expenses, just need from sales. But for church, it should not be like that, or even a business. Let all the money that come in, tithes, offering, donations, go to the bank. Kama kuna expenses, utolewe kwa bank, kuja kufanya expenses. A friend of mine was in another school, a principal. He went and found that there were no policies, there's nothing. So, the bazaar or the accountant is very powerful. Fees yote inaletwa na cash. Ukijaribu kusema ulipe na M-Pesa, no. Ulipe kwa bank, no. Let up. So, lunch program and other fees that they charge. So, accountant. So, when my friend went there, this year, so akaenda, anajua wazazi wameleta pesa. So, 1 week, anangojea, aletewe report ya the money in the bank. He wanted to pay something, akaita the accountant. Akamwambia, I need this amount. How much have we collected? The accountant said we've collected around 250,000. Yeah. So the people said, give me 100,000. Come, I'll show you what we need to buy. The accountant went, akakuja na list. Come, yes, we got this amount. Umenunua mahindi, maharagwe. So I have only 5,000. So the people saying, you shocked. That the accountant can actually collect the fees, spend without authority, and amletea tu makaratasi. So in church, are we doing that? Tithe offering yote inaletwa mchungaji anahesabu lipa hii fanya. That is not good practice. If you are doing that, church change. Before change changes you. Size it's kuzuri, by the way. Not the violence about the Gen Z, but even the members, even in my church, I know. If the sermons and activities are not relevant, like now we have we call them cell groups at the district. If you have no program for the young ones, they will come the first one, second one. So you have to make sure you have activities that involve them. So the same with how we operate. Let's make sure that we operate in a transparent way. Misuse of church assets. That one sometimes it can be rampant. So like vehicles, can anybody just pick the vehicle and go? Can I come and borrow furniture? Can I borrow the computer? So there must be some controls. Like the drivers, are they designated? Are they approved? Logbooks, register, mileage, fuel, and all that. Who authorizes the vehicles to be used for assets? Is it less than fair, where anybody can just pick and go? It must be controlled. Yeah? Then, all these are financial risks. So we are trying to identify them and see which ones are relevant in our specific cases. Then, the cash in charge. Maybe by at random. What is the percentage of cash on a Sunday? The percentage, not the amount. Amount is a vary, but percentage is in there. Maybe that's a percentage, yeah, cash, hard cash. If you
versus what? Cash versus what?
Total amount collected, what is the percentage of cash, EDQ, M-Pesa, checks, transfers? So how do you collect your money? You can just tell us.
80%.
80% is cash.
The church I go to is 10%.
The cash is 10%.
Yes.
Okay. Any other person? An estimate too?
80%.
80% cash.
Yeah.
Okay. No, these are two different risks. If you have 80% cash, risk iko hivi. Kama ni 10% ni kadogo. But still, unajua unaweza ingia kwa banki hata kama inaingia on your case, but yote ina withdraw again, it's misused. So the risk can change color. Ni kama chameleon. You may avoid cash only to be misused in the bank. You check and all that. So it's a question of intention. But what we are saying is that make sure if it is cash, how is it accounted? Are there designated people who count it, who document, who take it to the bank? Are there how is it taken to the bank? Inaweza ikiwa on the day kama security. Is there a CIT, National Transit Insurance in place? All those things are to make sure that the cash handling is done properly. Then, yes, so these are the options now. Like if it's cash, try to change so that it's M-Pesa. M-Pesa nowadays is better. So that the money just goes to the bank. Then, so we encourage people to make sure that they minimize cash. I'm in a boat at a school. And here you cannot pay even 5 shillings because you can cash. Hata kuna M-Pesa. You have to go to the bank, deposit, let it sleep. So most of the workers, even teachers feel it's bad because now lazima document kila kitu wakitaka kulipa pesa. But if cash is there, people are creative. People are creative. Unaweza tuma mtu na 10,000 mwambie utaniletea balance. Utaniletea makaratasi. And they will count everything. But if you tell them, write what you want, they'll 3,000, 4,000. So that's how money is tempted. And you are told your money is not evil, is there? It's a lack of it. Yeah. So people have money, by the way. So, handling of funds. This is another risk. That is the money back direct? Intact, full. Okay, if you are not an accountant, you may say, why? Sasa, unapeleka kwa bank, na tutoe tena. Why? Hiyo ni kazi nyingi. But it makes sense. You check, you baadaye. Then, promote these things, bank account, M-Pesa, and all those. Are they using them? Are they in? Kwa ajili ya mchungaji ama nani? So those are risks. If it's one signatory, hata kama ni chairman, siku moja atashikwa na shinda na atasema wacha nitoe kidogo, nitarudisha. You know, people start like that, eh? You start borrowing, then you can't pay, then you try to hide. Yeah, you borrow with good intention, hata umeomba Mungu nisaidie, nichukue 10,000 nitarudisha. Then shetani anakolea sasa. So by the time unataka kurudisha, another problem comes. Ile ya last month utakumbuka sema wacha niandike hii voucher sema nimetumia. That's how you are lost. So it's good that we promote that so that the name, all these facilities are not in the name of one person, either pastor or chairman or whoever. Let it be in the institution. Na mtaambiwa kwa mambo ya legal register so that the church has its own entity. Then at least 3 signatories makes sense. Those umetuambia hapa 2 cannot work together unless they agree. 3 people, it's difficult to agree. Hata wakiagree when kona mmoja na ile pesa mlitoa pia nini? Hiyo ilikuwa mafuta ya mchungaji. Then you ask the other one, what was it for? Kulikuwa na mgonjwa. See already there will be a problem. But if it is one person, utasema ilikuwa mafuta. Hata nikiulizwa kwa usingizi ya mafuta. I know ilikuwa ya mafuta. Those are the symptoms. So let's make sure that we have several signatories to the bank. Then those who are financial risks, now these are operational risks. Disruption of church activities. They need to plan well so that have alternative in case of a problem. In case of the circumstances change, you already have another way of doing it. A good example is the power backup. You need to have a generator or something like that. Because any interruption during service, then, so you know the way the church wants, we praise and worship and then the sermon. So katikati mchungaji wakati alikuwa anasema wale wanataka kuokoka wakuje, how are you going? You know, you may have sent some people to hell. Kwa sababu atasema, change mind. So it's good to continue once. Alternative. Then another operational risk is training and supervision of volunteers. Sometimes people who are volunteers can be misused. I would like to train your Sunday school teachers on first aid. So how are they able to handle the children? If something happens, you may blame them, but they have never been trained. Is there a first aid expert in the premises? In case you need to faint, what do we do? Utampepeta, utamuinua, you know, you can do anything. Utafanya mouth to mouth. So there are many options. But when there is an expert or somebody who has been trained about first aid, atakuja sema ondokeni hapa, we need fresh air and all that, and then that life can be saved. In church, people are very in church because of ignorance. What do I do? What to do? Yeah. Then are there security checks by trained personnel? You know, sometimes I get amused. Mtu akona kile kipimo. Like mmoja nilimuuliza, what are you checking? Amefanya nimelia. Kamuuliza, "Mlio wa bunduki inalia aje?" Na bomb na laptop. Tu wamefanya tu. So are they trained? Ama wana check tu just a formality. So it's good to have trained people, especially in personnel, in security. Yeah? Then operational risk, again continue, then is there any well-maintained facility to minimize accidents? Are the floors wet and all that so that you minimize? Safety and security, again, violence and harassment. Anything can happen. People can be harassed, can be beaten, can fight. So there is need to have outsourced security. I know many churches where when you have a big congregation, you engage a firm, a reputable firm that can offer the security services. You outsource the risk. In case anything happening, then the firm is the one to blame. Then also have policies and procedure to handle harassment. Safety and security again continue. Then there is fire and other hazards. Does everybody or most of the people, members, know how to handle fire? Do you have fire drills? You know, like airport. The other day there was a time I think they did a drill. Ndege ikakuja na ikakama imeanguka na wala lazima moto ukakuja. In our churches, we have such things. Because fire is real. Niliwaambia the real world does not care about church or anything. Fire and fire. Itachoma hizo hata madhabahu ichome. Kila kitu. It will not be done by madhabahu, by the way. We may pray and believe, but the truth is that this can happen. So let's also be careful. Let's show people how to those buildings. Are there fire extinguishers? Monazo. Because anything can happen. We are not bringing that it happens, but now that you see now, wanasema hata the measure of judgment, wale wamesoma zaidi, the teachers of the law, wale wana information, they will be judged harshly more. So now that mmekuja kwa hivyo na mmejua lazima mko na extinguisher, you have to do something about it. And fire drills. Because now you are knowledgeable, you know it should be there. If it is not there, plan for it next year. Yeah? burglary and sabotage. There are people who even in church. Another day I lost my Bible and a note in church, kanisa, and was seated almost karibu na mchungaji. And nikaacha na ikaenda, and I have never seen it kwa church. So church si ati mahali, because no, lakini nikajiambia we don't go to church because we are sick. We are going to seek forgiveness and all. So hata mwenye alikuwa nikasema kama itamsaidia koke, well and good. So hata kwa church there are people who come with other intentions. So parking area, use of tags like for the vehicles, and also when in our church there was a time there were some breakages. You know, there are these vehicles that the tire is always beneath. It is easy to remove. Na sijasema mtu atoe. Kama mnajua hiyo ni there is easy to remove. Especially Prados and all that. So they used to disappear. Then after surveillance they realized that people come and sit in the car. Si amekuja kama ni mshirika. Anaangalia. So they take that opportunity when the service is ongoing. They come out of the car and then they remove. Now a policy was done that once you drop somebody, if you are not going to the church, get out of the car, go outside. Or ukuje utamkujia. But you cannot sit there tunasoma gazeti. No. Hata Bible huwezi somea hapo. Exactly. So you have to go. So those are some of the things that yeah, so those are some of the things that the measures that we need to be cognizant of. Yeah. To minimize risk, we are looking at the possible risks and now how to mitigate them. So we identify them. Then mitigations. Sometimes we may have accidents and other things, negligence for volunteers. Na mtu amekuja kusomesha Sunday school, mtoto ame by accident, maybe amegonga tu na akapasi. Huyo volunteer, do you take them to court? How do you do? It was an accident, but it has happened. Na mzazi anasema huyu lazima compensation. So it's always good to take some insurance so that we mitigate, so that the church is not exposed. Yeah? So also having vigilante, like now what we were able to discover that that is a trick they are using. There are also statutory obligations, and I said here the government doesn't care. Kama hujafanya return, the penalty of 10,000 will happen to you, to the betting company, even a bar, na charge 10,000 away. So if you don't make the return, serikali haini charge, maybe walisahau. No, KRA will not care. They just impose the penalty. So we need to comply. Employees, are we paying taxes for them? Are we filing their returns? It is crucial. Usiwe unalipa tu employ 20,000 ama 30,000, unaweka tu kwa bahasha. That is not right. Let them go through the system because we are stewards. Yeah. Mental health, I think there is a session that will discuss this, so I may not even go to that, but it's real. And that's why you see in the police forces, army amujaisikia army ameshoot the mwenzake. Abiwa.
It's there, but rare. It's there.
But it's rare. But in regular police, this is a lot of stress, mental issues and all that. Even teachers. Unless there is a counseling and all that, it will catch up with us in the church. Because there are people who need us so much. Even pastors, they carry the burdens of washirika wote. So you can imagine amebeba mizigo yote. So mental care, mental health. Infectious diseases like sanitary and all that will help us in many ways. Reputation, and again this is very important. The community will be looking at that church. So you need to be aware that the relationship, the good name of a church will help. Scandals and by leaders and Republicans. There are churches that have scandals, but you know, the experts, they drive on scandals. Hawezi kabila na mnazijua. Akitoka kwa hii anaingia kwa hii. na washirika, because our people are gifted differently. There are people who follow those things. So unapata akiwa na scandal wanaongezeka. There is a church, sitasema ni gani, kulikuwa na scandal of some fake miracle and all those things, and somebody said wacha nifanye survey. So they started there were, let's say for example there were 500 members, then scandal katokea. So they were sure next Sunday there will be 100 people. Lo and behold, next Sunday there were more than 800. The congregation increased because of that scandal. So that is where we are. So, but since we want to preach the true gospel that we have you up, then we need to be reputable. To subscribe on scandal, even if they are bringing members to our church, it's not right. Moja, see, those who have more knowledge will be judged more. So let's know that hapa ni ulimwengu tu, even tukienda elsewhere up utapimwa. Hizi miracles zote wale genuine. They were there, but I know. I know the source of miracles. They are there. No, they are there. From here, the other side. Yeah. So let's be careful what we do, what we do. One as you do. Then we are developing the management, this management framework, establish vision for existence. Vision, those are things that will guide you what you are doing. Then identification of risk, is a risk zote, determine the risks that exist and their nature. Because if you don't know the nature of something, you cannot know how to manage it. So you need to know financial risk. What is the nature? What is the extent? What is the impact? Yeah? Then risk assessment is involved identifying, assessing, and putting in place measures to reduce the impact of those risks. Categorize the risk on a priority basis. Priority basis. Because resources are scarce. So we'll sema kila kitu fails all over. Na maybe church yenyewe ni ya mabati. Umeweka ukuta wa wall, umeweka razor. So you have to be realistic that what is a priority? What is the priority? Then mitigation strategies to build on strategies, minimize the likelihood of occurrence and the impact of the risk. So they can be financial controls, emergency plans, and other action plans. Allocate adequate resources. Hapo ni pazuri. I've seen some people akona commercial na ni ya tricky, lakini akona commercial. Lakini ule gari ameemploy hapo ni mzee. The moment amefungua gate amekaa chini amelala. Ndio anamlipa 5,000. Yeye amelala kule akiwa akona gari. Should I allocating resources? Well, yeah. Kuna ile macho unaweza kuwa na hata haya agari mwenye akona bunduki. If it is that serious. So even wachache tusikuwe na watu sasa to employ just the people who can misuse. Let's allocate resources. Kama ni security, if you want good security, make sure you employ, you allocate enough resources. Conduct trainings for shareholders, for stakeholders, and raise awareness about the risks that may exist. It's good to monitor the risks. There were these mitigation plans, so monitor them. Establish the tools that can track occurrences. Kama where I worship, wanaandika saizi, wanaandika the people's number, na kama iko na hiyo tire, hapo chini wanaandika. You again remember, kuna mmoja alikuja, it happened that huyo guy alimuona akiingia. Na since alikuwa na some obstruction, so aliweza kuangalia vizuri. So he knew huyo mtu akuingia na tire. Sasa ameenda kwa pastor. Pastor, gari yangu tire ilikuwa hapa na it was new na imeenda. Akasema hapana. Kaambia sasa gari tutajuaje? Nasema ukweli. Nilijua hii mambo inatokea pastor. Yeah, that's why we are saying it must be affordable. So internal control system should be something that is affordable. Yeah. Then the other way is probably your congregation you want to 100 turnover ni kidogo, then you employ accountant, secretary, so you done 10 people. So your salary you want 20,000, collections 100. So unaona how watu umeweka tu kusaidia manage, but the benefits are the cost is outweighing the benefit. So we must be realistic. Then again, very important. Internal control system cannot work if the top management, top leadership is not interested. Tuseme tumekubaliana. Before hii gari itoke hapa lazima iko na ruhusa. Na mtu aziguze, hata mimi mwenyewe basta mtu aziguze, anaweza kuna ruhusa. Then basta katoa mtoto wake anakujia gari. The wife comes, pick the car, unamuuliza ni pasta amesema. Is he supporting that system? Is she supporting that system? No. So it cannot work. And the moment it is abused, then it is dead. Then, components of or elements of ICS. Then, there should be clear levels of authority and hierarchy. The church should have an organogram where we know the senior pastor or the bishop, info. So that it is easier to know, in case of an issue, I'll go to so and so, we'll go to so and so. But it's clear sasa message anakimbia kwa mchungaji to complain mambo yenye aliambia akaunta. Mchungaji ataisha. Na tuliambiwa hapa vile general walifanya. So those are the things that can be held by organogram. That's in fact that is what Moses did. Alitengeneza general alitengenezea organogram. But before Moses was doing everything. So alitengenezea levels. Kaambiwa na hapana hapa hata usishughulike mambo ya chakula, mambo ya watu wamepigana, ngoja mambo ya spiritual. Bwana asifiwe. Ule mtaona kidogo Zilanja watamwambia kuja hapa tuambie ameoka namna gani. All right. Then there is always good to have an oversight body, and hiyo ni council. What 11 number 10, no, we are going even number 10 or 11, 9, 13, odd number. Yes. Yes. It can be a draw. Yes, exactly. So it's always good. Hata kama ni mchungaji, kanisa labda ni soteni yako, but it's good to have an oversight. Kinyozi alinyoi. So you need sometimes unaambia mchungaji hapa. Unajua sasa ikiwa za group they will be able to face the mchungaji. Lakini kama hakuna mtu congregate akikuja kumwambia kanyaga hii. But if it's a group of 10 people, unaweza hata andika barua waseme tulikaa na tukakubaliana hii. So you see you have to be, you will be corrected. So it's good to have an oversight. Especially the churches that are not like presbytery na zingine, but the others zingine za congregational whereby they are doing some issue there. Then also leaders, they should lead by example. So leader kama ana preach water but they are taking wine. So there will be no control in terms of the processes. Because policies are as good as when they are implemented and followed. Yeah? You know, and a while ago, this country has the best policies documented. Ziko kwa mashelves. Zilifanywa 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. People na dream team. It has so many policies, but they are not followed. So, you know, they can wake up one morning and say things that are not even in the policy. So policies could be there, but following them is the key thing. Risk assessment, identify and manage and mitigate. You identify, manage and mitigate. Then, components again, we are moving on with ICS. Then, the control activities. Develop and document policies and procedures. Ensure no one person can fully initiate, document, and initiate, execute, document a transaction. Minimize fraud. Segregation of duties. Internal control system mean the backbone and segregation of duties. Isikuwe mchungaji ndio ukiandika check, naenda anatoa pesa, naenda ananunua vitu, na analeta, na wanangojea zikikuja ana receive. So sometimes you can be overwhelmed, and it can happen even to the junior officers. Let nobody initiate. If you can afford, kama uko na, wacha niseme hivi, kama uko na pesa inaweza ibiwa, make sure umesegregate the duties. If you have enough money that utaki ibiwe, segregate duties. If you And I give you an example of that accountant in that school. She was everything. She was a lady. I was even shocked. Hata mwalimu akipita hivi aone kama amemsalimia lazima aitike. Because next time utakuja ukitaka kitu, mwambie kuna pesa. And you will go nowhere. She was that powerful. Then authorization and approval, make sure that transactions are approved. Sio after, unaona sasa that accountant alikuwa anakuja for approval after ametumia pesa. Sasa kama ametumia 150, can you really say uta approve? So ni rubber stamp. Unajua rubber stamp huingia after signature. So yeye ameshafanya kitu amekuletea makaratasi. Nilinunua maharagwe. So make sure that all these things are approved before execution. Mtu asiende afanye vitu alafu anakuletea tu makaratasi. No, let there be approval, authorization and all that. Bank reconciliation, again, somewhere where we fail a lot. Banks can do wonders. People also can do wonders in the bank. So it's good to have reconciliation so that you can monitor the monies that come in, monies that go out, and now in between you can balance your books and bank statement. And then you must have a budget, and you mentioned that. Then strict adherence to the cash handling and ensure regular and focused internal audits and external audits. Audits, they are good. You don't need to employ Ernst Young, PKF, you can get people all on their graduates too. They have the capacity, they can come and do your internal audit, depending on the level. So let's also be realistic about the people that you can employ or engage. Then also there's these are physical security, lockable doors and all that. Maintain up-to-date records of assets and inventory. Then have an effective ICT system. So easy, I'm not sure there is any chance that I know at least one computer. At least one. Hata music kwetu wanaona wanaweka kwa computer. So ICT has also come up. So we need to be careful that we also employ it in managing our resources, our finances. But the key thing to note is that have a genuine software. If it's for an organization, it's going to buy it Monday to let you get genuine. You may pay something, but it is good. It is worth it. Then promote transparency and accountability in the church affairs. Provide regular financial and operational reports, all regular open and interactive meetings. I attended one meeting as a shareholder. Nilikuwa nimewasha kidogo kwa CMC. So wakatuita. So unajua anaita kila mtu. So we went for a meeting kitambo kidogo AGM. So nilikuwa nimeandika 10 questions from the financial statement. So nilikuwa nitauliza maswali. Shama akasimama akasema question time. Nimeandika wapi hapa? Nikainua mkono. Yes. Yes. One more. Yes. My heart was still up all the time. But there were set questions. There was a direction they wanted the meeting to take. So we always, to a church, we always hold a meeting where you gag people. They have come for the meeting, but nobody can speak, nobody can ask questions. It's only your people who can ask directed or friendly questions. So that's why we are saying all regular, open, and interactive meetings that have meaning. It's equal to formality. Yeah? Bwana asifiwe.
Amen.
Niko karibu kuita mtu mmoja hapa. Nimeona mtu mmoja. Haya, monitoring and evaluation. You need to conduct regular meetings to analyze the audit findings so that you can take corrective action. Then, having said all that, the end result of an internal control system, the church can establish a strong ICS, then ultimately the church will be able to grow and sustain up. Those are the things that here, we can work money is doing it well. So in a nutshell, it includes practices and principles aimed at ensuring transparency, accountability, and effective use of funds. Period. Then, in a campus, all that, one question you have to leave that. Is your pastor, if you are not a pastor, is your pastor on payroll? Ama najilipa. Ila nasikia. Sometimes it happens, some churches. Well, employees wako na salary, na tunajua, but yeye nobody knows how much he gets. So it's good to, if you want to be accountable, hata kama you are the founder of the church, just be accountable. Because that is stewardship. Yeah? Because your pesa, members wameleta. Unajua hilo umelima kwa shamba yako, you don't need to account to anybody. But this one, I'm bringing my money so that it can help the community, it can be helped. So even if it's your church, please be accountable. It's as simple as that. Alright? So, angalia kama pasa iko kwa payroll, just ask questions and we'll see what will happen. Ile nitaambiwa toke uende ama roho itakuuliza, unaweza sema hiyo masomo imenisaidia, we need to implement. Yeah, budgets, we talk about budget, but involve the congregants about the budget. Right. So the elements of financial stewardship, fundraising, and income. So you need to see how you, and there's a topic here about fundraising. So you need to ensure that there's transparency in terms of what members give and how you spend the money. Because I can tell you for sure, hakuna mtu beara pesa bila to expect anything. Hata kama ni tithe. Imefia kuomba na Mungu but yes. We may not ask because we are told to pay tithes, na tunyamaze hivyo. But in my heart, I expect to see things happen. Yeah? And even in your congregation, I think that's how they believe it, like that. So to see, assume they just pay money because Mungu amesema. No. In any case, there are many other churches I can take my tithe to. So let's also be accountable so that we. Siku ya jaki nilikuwa sasa ni wa pastor, nimekaa hapo wale wengine hata ule kunafikia naenda heaven. Unajua umengojea kwa shirika wako uone huyu lazima hell. Unaona amejaa heaven. Kwa mwisho Mungu akamwambia na wewe umewitness wala wameenda. Hata wewe wafuate because you are one. It can happen because of just money. Pesa tutaanza. So let's be open a bit, transparent, so that we make sure that we are good stewards. So expenses, make sure there is efficiency and they also have monthly, quarterly reports. And savings and investment. As a good steward, you need to put your money. Huwezi weka pesa 3 million for account to the car, interest is 2%, because you are good custodian. No. So kuna wale walipewa talent, mmoja akaweka kwa mchanga akasema I knew you are mean, so you what person. So this is the money you give me, this is the one. But yule mwingine alichukua akaenda ikaleta interest and all that. So we need to be also, tusikue kama huyo mwenye aliweka talent na akasema the master was mean. Yeah? So let's also be able to use the resources well. Seek professional advice where necessary. And I believe you will need it. And from time to time. Then compliance with the law, we said about paying taxes and all that. But you know, there's a time when Jesus didn't have the money for taxes. How will you pay? He didn't have money. But since he's gone, enda pale ufish kuja. So huyu akashangaa. Sasa ni fish, niuze, nilete pesa. The fish and the coin, lipa tax. So that was just to show that we need to pay taxes. But also give us the tax inaenda kwa hiyo. Na hiyo ndio maswali jinsi wanauliza. We can see taxes, but we are not seeing the results. In between, we are not what is happening. So even in church, at some point, people might ask questions. Then the other one is offer training, so that people, especially the workers and volunteers, know what is how to manage funds. Then support needed cases. Look around. If you are generous, even your members will be generous. If you are mean, at some point, kitakauka. So just be, the way people just come to try, wametoa time, wametoa offering, wametoa donations. Even you as a leader of the church, make sure that there is somebody you bless. A blessing is one-sided. Then also share success stories in the church of what is happening in the community, may develop and all that, so that members can see how you are impacting their society or their neighbor, their community. So, in a nutshell, stewardship, members want to know how are our money being used. Here too. So, they will be more than willing to contribute and sustainability without having to pass them through unorthodox means. Unorthodox means, I don't know how many people watch TV. Sorry to say, I'm a Christian, but most or a number of Christian TVs continue mambo ya betting, mambo ya miracles, mambo ya nini. Sorry if I offend anyone of you, that's your church or something, but what I believe, some of them are not genuine. Some of them are not genuine. There was a time a pastor is betting more and more. Sema sina answer. But you're conscious, will tell you. You're conscious, will tell you. Because when you bet and you lose, you feel happy. You feel happy. So your conscience will guide you. So in conclusion, tulianza na verse. So hii nyingine Matthew 25:21 NIV. His master replied, "Well done and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's advice." Stewardship is what you believe. See ni kwa Bible. Na tumesoma about stewardship, risk controls. So, and God does not expect anything less than that. Whether you are the founder, it's your church. The moment you may involve work, you must be accountable, you must be a good steward. So, assignment too. Where you are coming from, in whose name is a church man, church registered. There's a church for 15 years. Hiyo shamba ilikaa kwa nini ya mchungaji. Because alisema sijui kwa lands kuna mahali ilikwama. So kanzo ikimwambia we need to change. Siku hilo walidifa na kanzo. Alienda na hapo. Yeah? Kali mchungaji. So then yeah. So let's be careful. Yeah? Even if it's a church, because I don't know the congregation, I don't know where you come from, but even if it's your own church, na unataka kuwa accountable, make sure you iko from there. Ya kanisa. Siku za kanisa imejengwa kwa shamba lako. Hilo mtakosa na I don't know what will happen. Utanua kanisa, shamba ubakishe kanisa ama what will happen. So let's be accountable so that we say this is what we give to church. Usipeane na mkono mmoja alafu nyingine na ngoja hapa. Yeah? What has you? Yeah. So thank you very much and God bless you. And so there sasa tuulize maswali kama iko. I avoided asking question kama mna maswali katikati because of time. But I think maswali hatuwezi kosa time na maswali. Ama comments. Yes sir.
My question is just seeking your opinion. Do you think all those structural framework for controls and this is something that should be self-governing, or is there a place for where it's made a requirement by maybe the government or under the Societies Act where churches are registered?
There are some. The majority are self-governing, but there are some. You see, the law is different. The law, what the law asks, bare minimum, have a council, have financial statement. But these financial statement, they are lacking in integrity and all those things. Unajua kuna accounts hapa kama hizo hawaidi. See, they have 3 accounts. As far as the law is concerned, they are 100%. But is there integrity there? Is there transparency? You may have a council that will appoint, najua wewe uogai sana, kuja kwa council. Wewe unaongea sana. Madam waulize maswali, hata akijikuta na another lady, nyamaza. So hiyo kanzo yote as a pastor, umeleta kanzo hapo but unajua umejiduplicate tu. There's no, haujaleta mtu kwa sababu ati ya wote ya free. So there is what the law requires and now the integrity. Unaona sasa ndio nisema kila mtu anajichunguza anaona am I doing the right thing? Because the Bible is there. Unajua si kama kampuni inaangalia the company's law. Church inaangalia the Bible. Somebody said, in any situation, that's what would Jesus do? Jesus ataacha huyu kwa sababu anaongea sana. Si tuliambiwa alikuwa na Judas. Na alipojua, na alijua atakuja kumuuza. But alikaa naye for all those years. Akakuwa na Peter. Anajua huyu atadibana. But they were still moving together. So let's know that the law is there. Self-governing and the requirement of the law. But the church, I would say, if you are the truth Sharia, let it be based on the Bible. Integrity, stewardship, all those things. Knowing that we will not report to the Sharia house, we will report to Jesus. It's more. That's why we will account all these things. Yeah? Yes. Thank you for that comment. Yeah. I hope I have answered. Yeah. Any other? Yes, sir.
Let me ask a question. There is a very heavy burden on the ministers, especially on the issue of governance,
Yes.
which is very important and it's very critical. But we hardly have anybody championing the life of a pastor and his family. Most of the time, of course, we know there is a big bishop who has passed on. It looks like, he had been helped of God and invested. You may say the wife and the children may not be in trouble. But that's just one case in point. There are cases whereby when the pastor passes on, the family, sometimes the wife is kicked out. There are many of these cases.
Yes.
And he was a founder, particularly when he's a founder. Because there is also a case of denominations that have been here for long, many years. But this is a founder of the ministry. There is this push. Where is the balance? Because also pastors, some are quitting because it's so tough. Some sold their cars, put money into the ministry. Only when the money comes in, there is a very strong board here, or congregation, like if we were to use what we had initially, which wants to control what these banners put in. Where is the balance that the pastor also doesn't get into depression and is also taken care of?
Thank you for that concern and the question. The thing is that while you are in leadership, and a good leader, make sure that what they are leaving behind is a legacy. Now we are reading about policies and procedures and everything. When you are in control of that situation, make sure there are policies. A policy that says a pastor will retire at 55, he will get a pension or a provident fund, and the children, so that it is clear. Not when you are leaving. When you are leaving, you are now powerless, useless. But when you are starting, you can influence things. So that you say, let's have a policy on the retirement of pastors. Not for my sake, but for the sake of the other pastors. If you are the founder, the better. Because now you can influence things while you are still there. There's equal file with the lawyers. So that whether you are there or not, the constitution was clear. Like in my church, the constitution is clear. Pastor Kifikia, 60 years, there's no question about it. In fact, at 58 years, not an option. That is the situation. You have to leave. Yeah? So those are the things that you do when you are still happy. And you don't have to have mtoto wakati tamaki mkuja akali beach. So now that if you are in a position of influence, make sure it is in policy, documented. Because if it is not, ikotukua kichwa, hiyo itakuwa shida. Na ukumbuke huyo pastor mwenye alienda na shamba ya kanisa na kanisa imejengwa na menda. So make sure in the ministry as you begin, if you are in a position of influence the other council members, the pastors, so that those policies are documented. And if there is need, begin a savings in form of an insurance policy in terms of provident fund, whereby you can be contributing and the employer can be contributing. That's why it is important to have a salary as well. It's equal to so that there is a salary. So that at the end of the day, you are just like any other employee. When you leave, your things are secured. But sasa, you can influence while you are still young. Wila tunatoka tu bakisha 2 years kwenda, hakuna normal even listens. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
When you hear someone is resigning, anatumana, niletee sijui nini, message anaenda hivi, sijui anaenda. So it's good when we have a position of influence, we influence things that will follow. It will be for our own good and also for the future generation. Thank you. I hope I have answered.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sorry. there's a big challenge on this issue of risk management and internal controls, and it's convergence of faith. Because these things are very good. They bring and management. But one of the things that especially when I talk to my fellow pastors and my colleagues, they'll tell you, why do you want to run your church like a corporate? And yet it's an institution of faith. So why don't you go for just the bare minimum, what is required? For example, the returns are needed, but now these other things you are adding, it's like you're displaying you don't have faith. You get it? And they will hamper you in even expansion and what, because you use so much energy implementing all these things that you actually lose the balance of this is meant to be an institution of faith, you need to believe God and all that. So for me, I find sometimes the challenge maybe I face, I don't know what others, is how these things are fantastic. But how do I bring a balance? And also because I don't also want to turn the church into a corporate, a corporate institution. So I don't know how you can.
Thank you very much for that, and it's a question I think all of us are asking about the same. That's in my first slide. I said my personal. As much as people don't do your church as like a business, but you got it by the Holy Spirit. You got it by the Holy Spirit. To bring the values and integrity, a way of the world, and its risks. So, and also there's somewhere I say the system that you have should not have cost, should not outweigh the benefit. Yeah? Where I was talking about you having a great man, and your house is unamlipa 20,000-30,000 per month, you have to live and Kenya value after 40,000. It doesn't make sense. But faith is there. We all believe in that, and the faith is there. But the reality is different. And you nilisema moto haitajua ni kanisa. Accident haitajua ni kanisa. Now, many churches have been taken to court because of public indemnity. Mtu amekuja ameteleza kwa kanisa, you think it is just at the congregation. Utaona summons. Lawyer amesema you have to compensate. If you didn't take that public liability insurance, you'll be in problems. You have faith. Mtu ataanguka na afanye anything, but utajaribu huyo akishaanguka ndio utajua. Utajaribu kumwambia tuombe akone, unaambia hapana. Ni compensation. So you have to balance. So what you need to do is to look at your finances. Because again, you can't insure or you can't mitigate what you don't have. Unaenda tu pole pole. Priority basis. Public liability, kama nimesema, it's like it's negligible. In fact, it cannot be more than 5,000 per year. Sasa kama
sasa tunasema huyu mtu ameanguka na kashtaki kanisa.
Yes.
Haya, na sisi tutatumia imani. Tutaomba mpaka hii kesi tutashinda. Unaona? Na kwa nini ameshtaki kanisa na mimi ndio babake wa kiroho?
Unaona hizi magari zetu tunabeba person. Unabeba mtu. Umejaza watu hapa tunaenda sherehe mahali kapata. Accident happen. Mmoja, apate accident. Apate a lawyer, crooked lawyer, atamwambia sema you are paid. Atasema alikuwa amelipa hiyo gari ndio mpeleke. So insurance hiyo gari haimkavi because this is not a PSV. And it's your friend, maybe even your relative. Atakupeleka and you'll be jailed. Hata ukiomba. You'll be jailed. Because the thing is this, the law, magistrates may not be a believer. Even if they are believers, they are also guided by the law. Ule lawyer ameenda sasa naye pia kuna issue zake. So what I can say in short, just look at what is doable and what is not doable. But always be aware that matters of faith, they vary, but the reality is also there. Yeah. So here we are just saying this is the best practice if you can afford. You know there are big churches, churches, zenye hazina all these things zenye tunasema they can afford, but bado wanalipa mishahara na cash. They don't take the WAI, they don't pay NSIF, NSSF, all those things. Those are risks you might be exposed, which is not good. But the moment you are somebody look at it as a steward, you will see what is goes again, look at the cost. Some of the things they are very cheap. Come your public liability, it's very cheap, it's the most cheap insurance you can take. But many people don't have. Yeah. So ukiwa nayo mtu ataambiwa hapo aseme umwambiwa cha tuombe umwambie aseme hapana ingie sawa tena mahakamani. Yeah. Kumkutana mahakamani, the insurance will take care of it. So insurance does not replace faith. And faith does not replace insurance. That's what I can see. I hope I've answered that.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe the comment I wanted to make is what Pastor said.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's not just pastors who sell their things and give to the church. I know a pastor who was like that. There was like his board members. He inspired them to even borrow loans or approach them or buy something. Then you realize you buy the plot. The moment the plot is bought, now it belongs more to the church and to the pastor than these are the guys who sacrificed. At the time I think there were like 5 guys, those were 5 guys. I think like two or three of them left. And they left probably because the policies that was put in place, they were not part of it. So I think there should be a balance.
Yes.
Even for the pastors themselves. Maybe that is where we are being taught about personal well-being and etc.
Yes.
That as those guys give to the church, without probably expecting to get a direct benefit from the church, the pastor should also do this. But then plan himself so that he doesn't work for so many years in the church, expecting that the church is going to support him, also have his own plan to take care of it.
Yes.
Then probably what pastor has said. I think there is a part that Jesus said about the people of the world. Sometimes they are wiser than the people in the church. Because we don't apply faith just in church. I'm running a business and I need a lot of that faith. I've employed some watchmen there, but I don't trust that those watchmen will do everything. I still trust God is going to do it to secure the business, to make sure that the business, thieves don't break into the business and steal. But then I will not be ignorant enough to say I will not hire. So I think whatever faith we apply, they are teaching us what faith in church so that you can go and apply it somewhere. And we are also being taught management principles because like where I go, we are taught a lot of management. Initially, you don't see it applying. We are taught to apply it in church. So work as in church. But I don't just see it applying in church. I also see it applying where I work. So I think there should be that coexistence or symbiotic relationships whereby what I get in church, I go and apply it in the world, and what the world can offer, whichever is good I come and place it in church. So that's both ways can be able to edify one.
Exactly. Thank you very much for that, and I think that's the spirit. That we do not replace faith with the insurance or other things, but also we should be cognizant of the reality. And also the other thing, and it's good you are mentioning that, sometimes you can work yourself to move on. There's a statement that, I will not say, but a dog can be there barking, preventing the cow from feeding, and it will not feed on the grass. So, you need, as that, when you are in the ministry, make sure that the policies are there, not because of yourself, especially the retirement, the benefits. If you are getting 100,000 for your ministry, or 50 or whatever it is, jichukue ni kama ule mtu anawapa bank. Kwa kuna policies. Doesn't depend on the CEO or anybody. It is a policy. So even in the church, once you have those policies, it will be there. So your retirement will be secure. You secure it. When we started working, we were told, work like you are going to leave employment tomorrow. Usingoja sasa uko 25, sasa utaanza kusema uko 50 ama 45. You will do it. So it is never late. Once you go back to your places, that thing you see can affect you, make sure there are policies that safeguard that office. Not even you as a person, that office. So that the senior pastor, the pastor, the employees, they are secure. And now, you can't do that if pastor mwenyewe sio transparent. So even employees will just suffer because of the opaqueness of the pastor or the leadership. So if you are open, then those things will be discussed. Like in my church, we know even how much the pastor has. It's not a modern church, but they try. But we've also been doing those trainings at all. So let's also know that we start from somewhere. Jenny, you can stop me anytime, but we will continue asking questions. Oh.
Was there a hand up?
Maybe to ask a small question.
Okay.
Are there different definitions of what a salary is? Because I know there are some churches where they give specified salary. That is where they take a certain percentage that income with the pastor's salary benefits. So like you say, for every income that comes, 30% of it goes to pastor. I don't know whether that is professional. Where you define, you say, pastor salary is 50,000 or 100,000. So, and both applicable based on maybe the constitution of the church. One of them is not professional.
Okay. I said I'm also an accountant. So now I talk like an accountant. And I also talk not on behalf of KRI, but what KRI says. Any income, whether under whatever name, in fact, whichever way acquired, even stolen, will be subject to taxation. So if you pay a pastor 100,000, as unampatia 50, wengine wanampatia matarasha. That's not good stewardship. What you can do, you can pay 100,000, apeleke pension, kwa pension, which is tax free, 20,000. Zaidi than 25,000. So anapata net ya anakuwa tax on 75, but hii 25 ni ya siku za uzeeni. Unaona ume abide with the law, umemsaidia uzeeni na hata kanisa iko sawa. So you can work with what the government incentive is giving, because there is that incentive of pension. So every month you can save 25,000, tax free, no tax. Unataxiwa 100,000, inatolewa 25, unataxiwa 175. Bila utatoka hiyo 25 itakusaidia. So there are all those options, and that's why we said you can seek professionals when you talk about advice. Because what you are saying, what you are doing now, or what is being done, maybe not your case, but when you pay some money outside the payroll, it's not good stewardship.
I was asking, there are places whereby they say, like the church collects 200,000. So whatever is collected, you take a percentage of that. Like the way we do tithes, tithe is 10%.
Yes.
And you agree that whatever comes to the church, this percentage, like 30%, is what is supposed to be passed at income. So I was asking whether professionally that is good practice. Instead of saying we are giving a salary, the salary is 30,000. So see, that is constant every month.
Okay.
So if you are not able to raise the 30,000, then we know we owe the pastor 5,000 shillings if you are able to raise 25. But there are an instance whereby now you do percentage.
Okay.
So if you raise 200,000, you know 30% of 260,000. You raise 500,000, you know 30% of that is 50,000. So that can keep on changing. So my question was, this other way of doing percentage, doing a professional way.
Yes, it is. But now that will not be a salary, it will be a commission. And the successions are different. So that will pay a percentage of that commission, because it's a commission. A percentage of this. A salary is something that is fixed, and you also obliged to do something. But also, if you are full-time there, then it can also mean a salary, according to KRA. Because a salary is an income that is constant, and the employer has control over it.
So the commission is also acceptable?
Commission is acceptable, whereby now you pay, if it's management, I don't know what you call it, but management fee is 5%. Other commissions could be up to 15%, 10%, depending on what it is. But now again, the cash would be But if it's fluctuating, then it can work. Because it's a percentage, it's commission really. So hata yana kwa incentive ya ku make sure next month kwa 200,000. Na sasa naye asifanye sarakasi ndio pesa za wazee. Otherwise the spirituality itaishia hapo. So let it be a balance. Because the commissions, when the police work on commission, they do crazy deeds. Crazy deeds. Wanakuuzia upepo na anajua. Anajua tu lakini sasa watoto wake anataka wakule. Bwana asifiwe sana. Thank you very much. I appreciate. I hope I've met some of your expectations. Yeah. But implement what is done.
Thank you. Yes. You can tell people have questions. People want to engage.
Yes.
I think it is okay for them to have your number at some point. Probably you can reach out to him later on and discuss further. But I don't know what your take home is, but I think we need to seek professional help where we have needs. Let's not do things KJG. I'm still stuck with that of commission. I don't know. I don't know. Pastors do all manner of things. May the Lord help us. Now we need to eat. Cynthia,
It's a risk management also. We are hungry.
I can give them my number if you want.
Yeah, take his number because I think you need professional help so that you can discuss your risks further and know how to mitigate with the help of professionals.
Yes. 0701 686 182. 0701 686 182.